Good day, podcast community. Yes, my key persons of influence community. Yes, we're in some exciting times. And I'm going to give you a little bit, consider this a workshop of really understanding the trends that are going to affect you every single day. If you're trying to get your message out there, it's getting more crowded every single day. And if you don't employ a strategy that will allow you to leverage the trends we're going to talk about and give away 90% of what you're wanting to create value with and focusing on that top 10%, you'll have a hard time really navigating through the noise. It's a fact of life. We're in a digital asset revolution. My name's Pete Kane. I've been podcasting for pretty much almost 3 years, and we've been creating digital assets for that long. And I think what we have to understand is, how do we leverage these trends? How do we take advantage of them? How do you, as a creator, as a person that has a strong message, how do you separate yourself from all the noise out there? I heard once we hear 6,000 marketing messages a day. 6,000. We're bombarded with information. Our attention span keeps going down. Look at TikTok. Look at the short form video and how it's created the attention of us because it's short. Our attention is short. We like little sound bites. We're conditioning our brain to just have little sound bites. So you got to cut through that noise. Do you have to create shorts? Yes, because people want them. It's kind of like you've got to give people what they want. And in our case, our community, which we podcast, publish, and build communities locally and globally with our key with our ecosystem. So when we do that, because I want to give you value. We give away 90% of what we do. We have virtual events. We have live events. We have free podcasts. We have content that we put out there for our people for free because we want that 10% that value their time so strategically. They don't want to waste it. So they're willing to pay to give you the money to shorten their learning curve. Now, after my stroke 3 years ago, I had to change completely my direction of what I was doing. Not only did I walk away with mortality motivation and realize that life is very short on our earth. And as we get closer to the end of life, which none of us make it out of here alive. We just don't. I know that's kind of, I don't know what it is, but we're here a short period of time. What kind of impact do you want to make? I realized when I survived a pretty severe stroke, I'm still trying to get back to walking long distance. I had a date with my granddaughter last Saturday, and man, I've never walked so much. I was worn out. Now, I've run in 20 some peach trees, so I'm used to running. That was my runner's high. I was a social runner, not a what do you call it? A marathon runner, but I was just socially running because it gave me time to think, time to process. But when that was taken away, I had to look for a different direction. And so My thought is, do the current trajectory of where I was, is that what I was going to settle for, or did I want to make the largest impact in this world? And the latter was that. So, shut down my digital marketing business, shifted with my partner's um, suggestion to get into podcasting. And man, I found my love, because growing up dyslexic and ADD, it's a weird combination. And I tell you that because I've gone through, since age 17, and even before that, trauma. Trauma in learning, trauma in operating in a world that wasn't really designed for my skill set. So I struggled. I struggled with up and down depression, because every single time I tried to get off of medication, which started out with Ritalin, then went to Adderall, I eventually would start to crash because I couldn't keep up. I couldn't focus. And I had to use a pill to do that. But I knew I didn't want to do it long term. So I would try to get off. Every single time I tried to get off, I would crash. So it was a roller coaster of trauma. Now, in our virtual events, I do a thing called PTSD. It's actually PTSG. We grow through trauma. So I have grown, like I have a doctorate in trauma. And that's kind of good, but I can't put it on the wall. So I say that to say, any trauma you're going through, any stress you're going through, it's a way to grow. So our workshop is sponsored by Growth Day, because it's the best community of helping you grow. Because if we're not growing, as we get into this major shift, look at all these trends that are coming: digital asset revolution, entrepreneurial revolution, crypto revolution led by Bitcoin, AI technology revolution, and the mobile revolution. If you're not developing yourself, if you're not increasing your skill level in leadership, in building communities, and just getting better overall, there's a more of a chance that you're going to be left behind, because this shift in AI is going to totally turn this world upside down. Is it going to be great? Yes. Are there going to be some bumps in the road? That would be an understatement. So it's so important that when we talk about podcasting, publishing, and building communities locally and globally, you want to be in a community. You want to be in a community like ours, like Growth Day. Growth Day is pushing 500,000 people worldwide, led by Brendon Burchard. Just Google him. He's been doing this for 20 some years. He's been #1 bestseller author, has a community. This community is incredible because, and I'm going to let you test it out, try it out, because you want to activate personal development. You want to activate a community that is growing, is sharing, is always challenging ourselves. And for 7 days, you can experience it. 7 days. And if you go to Pete Kane, you can just Google Growth Day and you can get it from anywhere. But if you get it from us, PeteKane.me/Growth Day. One, you help us out. You help our community. And if you email support@PeteKane.me, we'll send you a gift. Right now, it's Mindset, Goals, and Habits. We want you to be the best. We want you to prepare for the change that's coming up. We're seeing major changes in our government that we've never seen in the history of our country. Things are really rapidly changing. So if you're out there and you're kind of uneasy about the change, come join us. Join us in our community. And we're a community of encouraging, challenging people that are going to podcast, publish, and build communities both locally and globally. Now, why do I say globally? That's kind of a strong word. Well, the world has gone global. I have a call with a gentleman from Nigeria at 4 o'clock. How did I meet him? I met him through let me think. I have trouble. She's from Netherlands. Ingeborg. So she said, I want you to meet this guy. Never met him before. He's a professional soccer player in Nigeria. Professional. Exceptional young man. And he has a global business because he has an entrepreneurial digital marketing business. So we got connected, and all of a sudden now we're reaching the world through Nigeria. My team, which is the bonus to our ecosystem, which I'm going to give you, is in the Philippines. Trexa and her team. Right now, it's Trexa and Rolando. So they work to support our community because we want you to do what you're best at doing. And if that is whatever it is in your business, do it to the best. But you got to create those assets, digital assets. We're out of the revolution, the industrial revolution, gone, done. The old factories and the way we used to work 40 years for a company is done. That's finished. We're now digital assets. Google my name. Just Google Pete Kane and put the word podcast. See what Google says you are, because that's truly what it is. You have to have enough content out there where people can consume you. If you ask Daniel Priestley, which he's my mentor, 7-11-4, 7 hours. They have to consume 7 hours of you. There's a study. This is the new digital way you know, like, and trust. They have to make 11 buying signals. 11, not one. You can't ask somebody to buy you first time. They got to get to know you, and they're going to consume you. They're going to be able to, whether a buying signal is a comment, an assessment, buying a book that you have, just a workshop, showing up for a workshop, whatever it is, those are buying signals. People are saying, hey, I'm interested. Tell me more. So when they make 11 of these and they see you on 4 different platforms, 4, a book, a YouTube channel, a podcast, a workshop, I could go on, but they got to see you in 4 different ones. It's just something the brain just clicks and they know, like, and trust you. But if you're not putting out content, and in our case, podcasting, online courses, workshops, you're not giving your market a chance to consume you. And if they've got to consume 7 hours of you, just Google Daniel Priestley, Score app, and just see what's out there. He's all over the place. And it wasn't until I had Christian on my podcast and I said, how do you want our viewers to reach out to you? And he said, well, I have an assessment. I went, assessment? I've heard that before. But I wasn't ready to pull the trigger. So once I did his assessment, click. I had listened to probably 7 hours of, but I hadn't pulled the trigger yet because I finally took it and I could see the power of it. So now that's our number one step in our ecosystem. You got to have an assessment. And if you learn how to create waiting lists, like Elon Musk did, When he did the Cybertruck, what did he do? $100 deposit. This was 3 years, 4 years ago, something. Before he did anything, he had to see if there was a market for it. 1 million people said they were interested. So what is 100 times a million? That's $100 million he raised before he even built the factory. Is that crazy? That's what you call the best way to do it. Is if somebody's not interested, why are you going to build a car if somebody doesn't want to buy it? But when 1 million people say, yes, I'm giving a buying signal, I'm giving you $100, it's a deposit, and it's out 3 years. But they said they were interested. So he built the factory, went and got the money, built the factory, and then delivered to 1 million people a final result. That's what you have to do for your business. Is why are you creating something unless you know people want it? They only vote with their dollars. If somebody tells you that's a great idea and they're not willing to spend any money, it's not viable. You have to have somebody vote with their dollars. So in our case, what we do is the same thing Daniel Priestley does. We give away 90% of what we do. So you can have a free podcast. Let me see if I have it up here. I may be in a different, I am. I'm in a different one, but I can put it up here. I can put, So take my assessment and be on my podcast. Be on the podcast. It's free. What do you have to lose but a digital asset? You don't lose it, you gain it. I mean, I'm not going to ask you like 60 minutes and try to trap you. I'm going to have a fun, enjoyable conversation with you on your story, your journey. And I'm sure there's wonderful things to learn. So go, take the assessment and be on my podcast. Start the process. Let us start adding value to your life. Let us start helping you understand the 7-11-4, the virtual summits we do, the live events, 5 minutes, 3 points, 5 minutes, 3 points. That's what we do. So our virtual event, let me see if I have it up here. Yep, right here. If you go to pk.me/virtual, you'll see. If you've been a guest on the podcast, you can be a guest on our virtual event. We have one this Saturday. It'll be 3 years this Saturday that I went to the Shepherd Center, an absolutely heavenly place here in Atlanta. It's where I spent 39 days learning to talk, learning to eat, learning to go to the bathroom, learning everything over again. Still learning. I'm sitting in the wheelchair that they provided. It's the most comfortable chair. I don't use it every day, but I don't run anymore. I haven't yet gotten back to running because I'm trying to walk with and build my stamina back up. I still go to PT. Been going to PT for 3 years. So I tell you that to tell you this. The world is changing, and we want to help you change with it. We want to help you create digital assets. We want to help you be the entrepreneur. Whether you work for a company or not, you have to think like an entrepreneur. Is entrepreneur tough? Yes. Is it easy to start becoming an entrepreneur? Yes, it is, because you can have a global business, but it's going to be the hardest thing you'll ever do. Now, if you do it with Growth Day beside you, and you can take advantage of personal development, which is the 6th megatrend, you're going to be better off. If you can have Brendon Burchard speaking to you every day, and you can do the 5 to Thrive, and you can create a habit, and you can develop yourself, and you can develop your leadership, and you can develop every aspect of who you are, because if you grow, your business will grow. So if that's something, if you want to grow, you want to take advantage of these trends, get Growth Day. I mean, $50 a month once you try the 7 days, a couple dollars a day investment in you. It's the best investment you'll ever make. Nothing close. So the digital revolution, let's go on. Okay, let me get this off the screen and let's talk about the digital revolution. It's important to be a key person of influence. It's important to give away 90%. And the top 10% are the ones that have the money. They are interested in trading. They want to save time. They want to shorten their ability to take advantage of this. So they're willing to pay to shorten the learning curve. In my case, I've been doing it for 3 years. We're going to show you how to shorten that learning curve. So there are options for that, but this is not what this is all about. Online courses is a digital asset. Podcasting is a digital asset. All these are given away because we want you to be a key person of influence. And to do that, you have to create digital products. The entrepreneurial revolution. Okay, let me move this off here. Okay, so when you look at the old way, which is kind of what I'm still part of, the industrial work model, work 40 years, retire. That's gone. The younger people, I don't know if this is the exact number, but before age 35, I think you're going to have between 7 and 10 jobs, new careers. It's just the way it is. And you're going to look at the future now with AI. There's going to be so many because it's going to be changing so rapidly. So working 40 years and retiring, that's the thing of the past. Because look at it. You retire after 40 years and you want to start traveling. Maybe your health is not there because you put off traveling. You want to do it now. You want to be able to have a lifestyle business like Daniel talks about, like my friend Christy talks about. She's in the travel business and she talks about mini vacations. That's what you want, is enjoy yourself along the way. We say be bold, make an impact, and have fun. Having fun is taking those vacations on a regular basis. Don't wait until you're 65 to start taking vacations. I mean, not taking vacation, traveling. Just do it now. You want to have a strategy. That's why I put Seth Godin up here. He's the best. He just finished his best book, I think. Let me see. Where is that book? There it is. Hold on. If I can get to it. Yes, I can. Here it is. This is Strategy by Seth. It's his best book. Everything is a strategy. Everything. And it's constantly changing. As we get into more innovation, more technology, you're going to have to adapt, change all the time. And if you're not aware of, let me take this thing off. Oops. No. Yeah. If you're not aware, and this is why we coach through strategy, we have a 12-week transformation. You can find out more about that at another time. But having strategy, being able to have somebody guide you in a 12-week transformation is what we do. That is our paid program. Okay, let's get into the crypto. Man, Michael Saylor, Bitcoin growth strategy. If you want to Google him, you'll learn more about it. And I love how he says it's on a need to know. If you're not motivated to learn something, you ain't going to learn it. It's too much out there. But if you want to create generational wealth, this is going to be the best opportunity ever. Because why? There's only 21 million coins made. So the value can only go up. Are we in the middle of a change? That's why it's going like this for the time being. But if there's only so much of something, that's what Daniel Priestley talks about. You have to have capacity for your business. Meaning, for me, there's 4 one-on-one coaching every 12 weeks. That's it. If 10 people want it, stand in line. Now, it's up to me to create enough demand, and you, as a listener, create the demand. Create the demand. Because if you have unlimited supply, you have no pricing tension, and the price will go down. Whenever, I don't know if some people might know it, Beanie Babies that came out, when there was an unlimited supply of them, the price went down. When you had a limited supply of a certain one, price went up, because scarcity matters in how much you produce. Look at Rolex. You can't just go out and buy one. They have limited capacity for their product. And with that, they keep the price at a level where they can deliver the quality of service. So for me, I only want to work with 4 people to make that transition. When you look at transformation, in 12 weeks, we're going to activate a book, authoritative book or workbook. We're going to get you published in our magazine, and you're going to be building around a community, 20 people, 2 groups of 10. Why do we put 2 groups of 10? Because 10 people supporting you, and that's how we break it, where it's kind of accountability. Plus, when it comes to social media, you want to have 10 people that are kind of on your team, and everybody helps each other in this, but we break into pods, and this helps. But Michael Saylor, his company, which I think they just changed the name. It used to be MicroStrategies. Now I think it's just Strategy. But it's basically, they went all in. They're the largest single holder company of Bitcoin. I think they own, don't quote me, 250 billion or something. That's a lot of coins. I don't know what it is totally now. But when you only make a certain amount, and that's what Bitcoin is there a lot of other crypto? Yes, because we're going into a different era. We're going into a digital era. So the currency currently, look at El Salvador. They have adopted Bitcoin as their currency, totally revitalized. The president down there has just done a phenomenal job, totally changing that economy around, and leading that charge is Bitcoin. So you want to create generational wealth? Start putting a percentage of your money in something that's going to keep going up. Okay, let's go on to the next one, which is the AI revolution. Oh my gosh. If you haven't been hearing about AI, you are off the grid in some cabin in the mountains, because it's all over the place. The Chinese just came out with DeepSeek. They did it in a shorter period of time with less money. It's amazing how resourceful people can be when they don't have a lot of money. I know, because every dollar I spent, I made sure I invested it in my business because I had to. But with DeepSeek, you're looking at coming out with an AI. DeepSeek was an AI model, I think what they call it, a super model, whatever it is, that was done in a short period of time with not the best chips. And it totally rocked the industry, because they now could see, and this has to do with strategy, that it's a race now with the big models like ChatGPT, which my partner Jeff Bourgeois, and let me see if I can get him. Yeah, I think I can. No, I'll probably do it in just a second. I'm trying to give you a gift. Okay, until I can get that up. Yeah, it's not on here. That's one thing about this I'd like for them easy. I need to probably organize it better. But if you just put the word AI in front of Pete Kane, you'll get his free course. And his free course, doggone it. Let me see. I think I can. Oh, I'm just changing some things around. Bummer. Well, I tell you what I'll do. I'll give you our master class right now, because number 9 on the master class is the AI free course. Jeff has an AI agency. We implement it in the Philippines. We implement it in everything we do. I use it. He's mastered it. That's his secret sauce, is giving businesses the language models to take care of specific things in their business. ChatGPT at this time, they had 250 million paid. I'm not saying users, paid. Does that say value? That's world. That's more than the people in the US. That's how many paid ones they have. Dang, and I think it's like $20. I know it is $20 a month. So it's the speed of business. If you're not using it in your business, you're going to be left behind. I talk to people most every day. I like to call and talk to people in my community and see what they're doing, how they're doing. And I tell you, 9 out of 10 are not leveraging it. And it's kind of, woo, boy, you better start understanding how to use it. I spoke at Kennesaw Mountain High School. Not spoke. I facilitated freshman class, and it's Habitudes, which is a course through North Metro. And it was wonderful to see see people younger than me, obviously. Maybe I think they said they're 14, 15. But some of them are using it, which they are, and the younger people are going to be using it like crazy. They won't have the old model in their mind. They'll have the newer model of how to use AI to their advantage. So you better be using it if you want to stay up. It's crazy how fast it's changing. So let me see if I can go to the last one, which is the mobile revolution. Look, every person has a supercomputer in their hand. Every person has access to information, and they do it through their phone. So when you put a phone in every person, that's a supercomputer. And so that computer becomes powerful to access information. That's why we give away 90%. 90%. Because we want to give value. So when people do have the money and they want to shorten their learning curve, shorten their time to grow their business, they'll look at us. Because remember, 7 hours, 11 buying signals, and 4 platforms. 7, 11, 4. That's the formula. Keep that in mind. I think so. We have a virtual event coming up, and that's every Saturday. So once you've been on our podcast, you can be part of our virtual event. We have an ambassador program. What does that mean? We want to reward our community. So everything is an opportunity to earn money. So you refer somebody to us that you have to be in the community first, have to have done a podcast. We will get you 15%. 15%. 15% is a good number for supporting something that you believe in. If you don't believe in it, don't sign up at all. But if you do, there's opportunities at the assessment level. I think it's 25 to 40%. Our online courses, our Podcast Academy, that's 15%. Our certified high performance coaching, that's 15%. Our magazines, 15%. Growth Day is 50%. So your live events, that's the ambassadors can participate in that. And on up to social media and AI. All these, that ecosystem that I was telling you about, let me go back. There it is. That's yours for free. When you go to it, you can go to our YouTube channel and you can binge in under an hour. You can understand all 10 of them. All of them are set up for you. Basically about 5 minutes apiece. 10 times 5, maybe a couple of them are 6. But in an hour, you'll understand the ecosystem. You'll be able to see how you can apply it to your business. So the magazine is one of our unique things. That's a partnership with Jeff Bourgeois and myself. But it's magazines. If you go to that, you'll see Kennesaw Happenings, which is right here. We start with Kennesaw right here. Kennesaw Happenings. 32 stories in here. 32. My golly. That's crazy good. Yeah, go and order it. Get it. But go and see. And if you want to take advantage of that, let me see if I have it here. Man, I tell you. Okay. pkane.me/opportunity. And there's an opportunity as we grow and build communities for local and global impact and use our ecosystem, the opportunity, those 10%, the 10%, if that's you want to shorten your learning curve, you want to move faster, then you can join us. So, all righty. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. We'll be here every Thursday at 1 o'clock, giving you value. So you can tell your friends, you can register if you do webinar, just put webinar right here instead of opportunity. You can register and then you'll know when we're having it. So my name is Pete Kane. We podcast, we publish, and we build local and global communities with our KPI ecosystem. So if this is something that you would like to be a part of, then get on my podcast. Come on, get on my podcast. We'll have some fun. We'll have some fun telling your story, creating a digital asset for you. And we'll start the journey because I love the magic is in you. Anything is possible. Invest in yourself. If you invest in yourself, it will always be the best investment you can ever make. All righty. Thank you so much. Look, be bold, make a difference, and have fun. Be bold,